Alright guys, we're going to be live. We're going to do the giveaway for the Olight. And I'm in my building today. I brought some, I ran a Wi-Fi signal booster, whatever it is that you want to call it. I'm also going to try some stuff today. I may look like a complete moron, but the only way to learn how to do lives is to actually be live. So I'm going to see if I can pull up like the video on another phone so I can see the chat and stuff like that, because I can't see the chat. You guys could be talking, and there's no way for me to know how to do that. And I wish that there was an easier way to learn how to do this and not look like a complete moron, but I'm going to see what we can do. So I should be able to hopefully see this chat here. I'm going to wait and see if we get some people in here first before we do the giveaway. Because I thought about maybe doing some lives, but I want to do it from my garage if I'm going to do it. Actually, I don't even have my microphone on yet, so let me turn this on. Let me get that set up. I just realized I don't even have that plugged in. So right now I'm the only one in here, I think. I've only got one person. So there's Sam Lee 458. Let me know if you can hear me, which actually it's delayed a little bit on mine. I just hooked up the microphone. Just double check and make sure that you can hear me. If you can let me know that, Sam Lee. But again, I'm going to try this today out here to see if my Wi-Fi is strong enough to do a live, because I thought at some point in time I'd like to do to where I just come out here and maybe I post about asking some questions or something like that, and then you guys can send in questions and maybe we can talk about things that do with business, things that do with tools, whatever it might be. I like to go to other people's lives. I know, like Electrical Connection, or whatever he's going by now. I like watching their live feeds, and I just like to be more involved in that. Hey, Robert Zellman, I appreciate letting me know, Sam Lee, that it sounds good. So I'm going to wait and see. Looks like we got 9 in here right now. Appreciate that, Geotech. So I'm going to do a random comment picker for the Olight Arkflex. Let me set that down. So this is the one that we're going to give away today. One thing that I did mention, I got a couple comments from people about the green laser, just asking questions. And so I was checking that out, and I didn't notice this while I was filming or while I was testing them. But if I turn the green dot on, this is the Arkfeld, just the regular green dot version. You can see that dot back there. Versus if I turn on the Pro version, the dot's a little bit bigger and a little bit brighter on the Pro version. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but so just to answer that question, I wanted to go ahead and throw that out there now. So again, I think more bang for your buck for sure is this one, the Pro version. If you think that you might use the UV, the only benefit to the regular Arkfeld to me is it is smaller, so it's a little bit smaller size. If you like that, it's going to be less in your pocket. But again, we're going to give away the Arkfeld today. I'm going to do a random comment picker. So I've got my lovely wife is actually being the camera person right now. She's going to go over here to the TV screen. As I set this up, we'll go through the same way I've always gave away the other ones and pick somebody who has the hashtag green dot in their comment to win this one. And then after that, I'm going to set the camera down and we'll talk for a little while, just because, again, I want to learn how to do these live feeds. There's no way to learn how to do it except for doing it. I don't know how it works. I see people doing it all the time where they're chatting back and forth with people, able to read their comments. So I'm just trying to figure out how to do it in this video. So you just have to bear with me on that. So we'll go ahead and go over here to the random comment picker. Gonna get into, let me check the chat. So we're gonna get into selecting. I'm gonna go down and pick this Olight video. We're gonna go to that and copy. So we're gonna get inside of this, paste that in. And again, I'm not going to add the replies. It has to be a comment. I'm also taking out duplicate users. That way you get one entry basically. So if you made 2 comments, it's only going to select one. Going to do one winner, show random names. I'm going to have it do it for 20 seconds just to give ourselves a little bit more. You can see your name on there. 7 plus 7 is 14. See how many comments that we have. Something wrong. Following, please refresh the page. So let me try it again. I might have had this page up for too long. Let me go back up. Paste that in there. Filter duplicates. 20 seconds. 1 plus 6 is 7. Get comments. So 61 comments total. So you've got a 1 in 61 chance of winning this. It could actually be a little bit less because there's a few people that don't have green dot because they didn't need it. So now we'll go down here and hit start to pick a winner. And in 20 seconds, it's going to stop on somebody. And 20 seconds is a lot longer than what you think. You think that's not a lot of time. Zoo to you. I'm an arborist looking for the laser, one for work. Does the laser reach far? So he was the one asking me about the green dot, and I believe he actually, let me see, go to his comment. I'm going to have to go and look. I think he told me he wanted somebody else to be able to win it, but let me scroll down through here real fast. I'm almost positive about that, so we might be doing another draw. He's right here. So yeah, he didn't put the green dot, and I asked him specifically if he meant to, and he said that he wanted to allow somebody else to win it. So we'll go back. And pick another winner. Start it again. And I guess in the future on this, whenever I do the hashtags, I'm going to start asking people to put it at the beginning of your comment. That way I'll see it on here, because if your comment's real long, it doesn't show your whole comment. It used to, but now it doesn't anymore. Let's see. So M Dunbar 04, I have a couple of the O clips. They work great. Hashtag green dot. So you are the winner, M Dunbar 04. So I'll get this sent out to you. So just make sure you email me. I'll go ahead and comment probably on your comment and give you my email. And what I'm going to have you do is the same thing I have everybody else do. You send me an email with your address, but I'm also going to give you like some kind of a word to comment as a reply back to your comment, just so I know you are the actual person that's emailing me, because sometimes people's email addresses don't match up with, your username on YouTube. So Nathaniel Clark, I'm too late to win, question mark. You had a hashtag on there, I believe. I think you commented, I'm not sure. So again, I'm just going to stay out here and talk for a little while. We got the series premiere of the Guess the Trade coming up at 1 o'clock my time, which is 45 minutes away. But I'm mostly just wanting to see how this live stuff works. My wife's telling me somebody asked me something. Omar Gallegos, what EDC apartment maintenance kit do you recommend? I don't know if there's like an actual kit. I've never bought like a kit. I know there is like Klein has I want to say it's an apprentice electrician set. That's pretty good that it's all in one tools. But I'm not really a fan of buying like sets of tools like that, because sometimes there's a better of one of those tools of another brand. And the best thing you can do is watch a lot of videos. I mean, that's what I do, but it really doesn't matter even watching videos sometimes until you get your actual hands on them to know if this is the tool I like, because sometimes there's a big difference between the feel. Most tools do a good job as far as, actually doing the work. There's very few tools where between brands it's like this one absolutely just will not do the job. But sometimes it's just that comfort level of, I like these handles better, these open a little bit better on pliers, things like that. The screwdrivers, I like the bit fit a little bit better. So it's hard to say if there's an entire kit out there. I don't know if there is one. Maybe some other people can chime in. Again, Klein, that's the only one that's coming to my mind, is that is they have a package of basically screwdrivers, strippers, lineman pliers, diagonals, all in one. But I would for sure think that you need to add like a receptacle tester, breaker finder. Just those are two tools that I think starting out with, you need to have those, and then wait and see how your jobs progress, of what line of work you kind of go into, because something like electrical, I mean, you can do a lot of different things, and if you specialize in something, some of the tools in electrical aren't going to do you any good, and then some of them are going to be absolutely necessities, so then you're going to need those. Hey, Pablo Rodriguez, good to see you in here. So I'm glad that this is actually kind of working. I set up a Wi-Fi, like a mesh network. I went ahead and brought me an extra thing out here and put an extender, because it's going to be a long time before I ever get to run like actual cable out here. And actually fiber is coming through my neighborhood, so I've been waiting to see what they're going to do. I'm still on like a DSL is kind of what I'm on right now. So fiber's been coming down my street, so hopefully my internet's going to get better here in the next little bit too. But I'd like to do more stuff like this, because sometimes it's better for me to talk and have people ask questions than to, hope that I answer all of them within a video, and then I end up forgetting something, because I'm not the best communicator in the world by far. I miss all kinds of things. What type of license and insurance is necessary to do handyman work? That's no one. I'd say that probably depends on where you live. In my area, there's basically just two types of, other than being electrical and plumbing and all those, you have to get licenses for those. But basically in my area, there is a general contractor and there's a specialty contractor, and that specialty contractor is kind of considered what most people would call a subcontractor. So you have to pick which one of those, and really it's not hard to be either one. It's just a different amount of money that you have to pay. Like for me to be a general contractor, I don't have to take a test or do any kind of things like that. Now, sometimes they do make you have references of some jobs that you've done working for another company or something like that, just to know that you know how to do it. But I don't think you have to take a test. I'm only a specialty contractor because I never hire more than one subcontractor. That's when you get into needing to be a general contractor in my area, or if you want to pull permits. But in my area, the homeowner can still pull permits, and then I can do work under that permit as well. So that's why I don't have to pay that extra money to be a general contractor in my area. But again, it's going to be different in all those. Hey there, Tyler Peterson. He's actually in a video a long time ago, one of those stairwell project videos, I believe it is. So good to see you, buddy. There's old Ted McDonald. Russ Albright, did you end up making a plug to test out the slop in the US version of the Vessel screwdriver? I did. I ended up, and it's a lot harder on that one. I couldn't make a adapter the same way that I did for the Japan version, using a bit and just cutting off a shim, because I think the way that you put something down in there, there's almost like a spring off to the side. It's not really a spring. I don't even know how I'd want to explain that. It's almost like a C-clip type thing in there where it's pressure sensitive, and every time I was trying to drop a bit down in there, it was turning sideways, and then I was afraid I was going to end up having to take the screwdriver apart to get that out. But I ended up just taking pencil erasers and shaving little pieces and stuffing them down in there, and I got that slop out using that. It was super easy that way, but it is definitely easier on the Japan version to fix the slop. So again, that's just another reason why I would buy the made in Japan version over that USA version, because there's really no advantage, to either one. They're exactly the same screwdriver, and you get slop in both of them. So whichever one's the cheapest, I guess, is what I would do on that. Let's see. Omar, thank you for the advice. Yes, most of our work is electrical. I definitely go out for the Klein packs. Again, Klein makes good tools. That used to be all I pretty much used until I started watching YouTube videos and started buying Knipex. And it's not that Knipex is drastically better than Klein on a lot of tools like diagonals and linemen's and things like that. The only thing that I've used of Knipex that is far above, most other brands that I've used is the Cobras for sure. They just grip a lot better. The pliers wrench, I haven't tried really any of the other ones, but it works really well. And then also the Knipex Forge wire strippers, they're phenomenal. I absolutely love those. So, I mean, anybody that asks me about a wire stripper, that's what I tell them. And again, not that Kleins don't do a good job. Even commercial electric ones, they've got some good ones. I haven't used any Ideals that I know of. Lots of good ones out there. Hey, Matt HMM. Yeah, he's saying more lives for sure. Again, that's why I'm testing this today, and I think it's crazy. I wish YouTube would let you just be like pretend live, but don't send it live, just so you could try out equipment and see. Because I watch lives all the time, and I see people reading comments, and I wish I didn't even have to look down at this screen the whole time I'm doing it and have y'all looking at the top of my head. So maybe I'll figure out some way to hold this up with a tripod or something to where I can still read this and, go with that. Again, that's why I'm staying on here today a little bit longer than the normal for the giveaway. I'm wanting to learn some things with this. My wife just says, "Look how cute you are live." So that's pretty obvious. I'm cute everywhere I go. Again, I was going to call this channel The Handsome Handyman, but I decided on Morgan's Maintenance. Nathaniel Clark, I agree, the twin grips are good too. And that's kind of a tool that they've got, even though there's other versions of, screw extractors, that slip joint on it makes that one super nice. Hey, Ted, that's my wife now. Don't be hitting on her. Let's see, Matt, HMM comments always take you so far. Doing live lets you answer on the fly. Yeah, and I agree with that, because there's been a lot of times where I've had questions asked of me even in the comments, and then for me to answer by typing is sometimes really hard. I wish YouTube would let you post, at least let the content person post pictures and things, because sometimes something would be so obvious to be able to take a picture and reply in the comments. I understand, not letting everybody, post pictures in the comments, because that would be crazy, like the results that you'd end up getting with that. But I would think at least the person whose channel it is should be able to reply back with comments. No one, those twin grips are great for twisting wires and for fencing. I could see that. Ted, engineering Fujiya. I always have a hard time saying that. For screw extraction pliers. I contacted the Marvel company because so many of you have talked to me about the Marvel pliers, the yellow-handled ones. I know they're big in Australia. So I contacted them and asked them about, is there anybody, because the only place I can find them right now is on eBay, and most of them are open package. And I'm just not a big fan of buying tools like that, because I don't know where they've been, and for all I know, they got horribly wet or who knows what. I'd rather find one where I could buy it. So I don't know anybody in the U.S. that actually sells them. I've been looking for that. I may end up trying a pair on eBay, because I did notice, even though I don't use lineman pliers that much anymore, and to me that's kind of what they're like, but they open up crazy wide. That's the reason why I don't use linemans anymore, is because my forged wire strippers open up so wide. And so basically they've just replaced them for me, because I don't really need linemans that much anymore. But I noticed that those Marvel pliers opened up crazy wide, so that's why I was wanting to kind of try those out. I mean, Matt has recommended them to me a bunch of times. I've also got some things that came in from Matt. He sent me a couple cool things. I've actually filmed a tool haul video. I've got it filmed and uploaded, so they're in that, so I'm not going to show you that here. Which one of the things that I have in that tool haul video is this piece of plastic right here. So guess and see what you think that is down in the comments. This is actually pretty neat. I kind of like it, so comment and see if you can guess what that is. And then I also got a thermal imaging camera in from Milesy. I've got a video that I just filmed yesterday for that. Going to have that come out. Where did you get that Klein thermos? I get questions on that all the time. Let's see. That's this right here. I actually found that on, I found it on Facebook Marketplace. That's not where I ended up buying it. I didn't even know it was a thing either, and it's a promotional item I think Klein had several years ago, before I even knew it was a thing, I guess. So they don't sell them, which they should. The amount of comments I get on it, they should come back out with it. I think it was one of those where you went into a supply house, you spent so much money, like sometimes they'll give you grill spatulas, bottle openers, things like that. I think it was kind of that kind of thing. But I saw it on Facebook Marketplace, and it was like 100-something miles away from me, and I was like, well, I'm not going that far to pick up something like that. But it made me know that they existed. So I started looking around on eBay. I ended up finding them on eBay, and you can still find some on eBay every now and then if you look on there. They're not cheap, but you can find them on there. So MB4 wood eBay would be kind of my best guess on that. Matt HMM, the Vessel 3-speed special editions come with a much better bit for the same-ish price, so it's good to know. No one, what's your preferred tool belt setup right now? Pretty much, I'm using either my Atlas vest. Let me set this down. My one vest is in my truck, so I've got a video. You might not have watched it, no one, but I've got this Vito apron. I don't know if I'm going to keep it now that I've got that new Atlas vest, because this is kind of the setup that is, and I can wear that like an apron as well. And it actually, since I can unzip it, the big thing about the 1824 to me is that unzipping to where it spreads out. So I don't know that I'm going to use this that much anymore, but I also have the Saratoga vest. This is my big job vest, so, and mostly not big job like electrical or anything like that, because I don't do big jobs of that stuff. I do, again, some of you might not know 100% what I do. I was a maintenance person for, I'm going to say 20 years, I guess, total at different places, whether it was a factory, primarily at a campus, and I was the facilities manager there. Did a lot of remodeling of it. It was basically an office space slash apartment complex place. Did a lot of remodeling there, so I do a little bit of everything. But right now, currently in my own business, I'm doing interior remodeling and finish work. So everything from framing until it's over with, basically on the inside. I try not to do very much exterior work, mainly because I work by myself or with one other friend. We go on big jobs together. But I don't like the scheduling aspect of exterior work because it's weather dependent. And so when you work by yourself, to me, that's the hardest thing, is scheduling, because I have to do all the estimating. I've got to do all the work. I've got to do all those things. So anytime there's a kink in my schedule, it really messes me up, because I've already scheduled my own self. It ain't like I can just send somebody else to the job. But anyways, the Atlas vest, this is what I wear when I'm doing interior remodeling, from framing, drywall, all those things. And then other than that, I pretty much use my MP pouches, but now I'm also using my other Atlas vest. It's in my truck. So let me hang this back up. And then I'll clip on just holstery bags and stuff. If I'm not wearing a vest at all, a lot of times I'll use a Klein, just a belt with some pouches and stuff on it. Let's see. Marvel has new red grip pliers. I saw those too, Matt. I saw those whenever I was searching just Marvel pliers. Let's see, Nathaniel Clark, those vests get hot. The Atlas Saratoga one gets hotter than my new one. I mean, I'm not going to say they don't get hot, but I've also worn suspenders and a belt, and with my shirt, and it's only slightly more than that. I bought that 1824 because it has more mesh than the other versions. And again, I primarily do interior work, so if I'm in someone's home, they've always got the air conditioner on, so it's typically not crazy hot in somebody's house, so that's not a problem for me. I don't think that if I was a person in, Nevada or somewhere like that and doing construction, I don't think I'd want to wear one. Let me get me a drink. I think they probably would be too hot in that situation. Let's see. I've always wondered what those red parts organizer cases on the shelves below the pack out cases. Those are just Milwaukee cases as well. I've had these for, years. These were basically what Milwaukee had before pack out, and these were the best ones in my opinion of this route too. And every now and then Home Depot would run these on sale for like $14, and I'd always just buy 2 or 3 whenever they did that. So I've got more of these even than what's over there. These were kind of what I was using before pack out was a thing, before all those things came into, and I've been kind of trying to swap those out as I find pack out sales. Like I just bought myself another organizer because my Home Depot has dropped the price on the like the 11 parts organizer, the main organizer of the pack out. They're down to $39 instead of $49. So I picked up a couple, and I've been basically transitioning those, but they take the same cups too, so I can use the cups out of those into my pack outs. So that's worked out. Let's see. So Dan, that's what those are. Tony, do you use for a CRM program? Tell me what CRM stands for, and I might tell you. I think it's kind of like a customer relations management. I think that's what it is. And I don't do anything. I don't have any like the jobbers and things like that everybody gets sponsorships from and all that. I don't use any of that stuff. again, I work 100% by myself, so I control everything in my business, the customer, the invoicing. I use OneDrive and Dropbox and those kinds of things. I've got all my stuff set up in those, and I can just do it all from my phone. I just do it myself. And I mostly do jobs that take me 2 or 3 days. As far as right now, currently, I want to transition to 100% service as I'm getting older. I want to just go to somebody's house, a commercial building, and do, repairs or replacements of things, just because then I'm not packing drywall. I'm not, sheets of sheathing and all those kinds of things as I get older. But as I've transitioned into my business of myself, I'm having to build that customer base. So those are here and there in between. I probably do, 4, 5, 6, 7 service calls a week. And then other than that, I'm working on interior remodels. I've got all that kind of work that I possibly could ever want. I mean, in my area, all you want, it's there. And so I stay busy with those. And basically on the days where I'm waiting on somebody else, I'm waiting on a material, that's when I fit in those service calls. And so I don't do any of that customer relations programming anyways. I don't have any programs that I use. I just kind of just do it myself. Let's see. I'm taking over my dad's contracting business when he retires. Danny, what's the best way to gain experience while in school full time? I would guess that it's kind of like anybody who's working a job right now and they want to go out on their own. If you can find some side jobs and do some things on the weekends or evenings or whatever, a lot of people end up doing that. I didn't have to do that. I did do some side jobs while I was working at the place where I worked before, just mainly to help people. It wasn't even stuff that I charged people for. It was just going and doing stuff for people that I knew. But I gained my experience, working. So that's how it worked out for me. But I would suggest that a lot of people tell me that's what they do if they want to go out on their own. They start out by doing side jobs and see how that works out for them. So that's probably a good idea. Morgan's maintenance done for the day. Made $800 today selling tools. Cut some, let's see, 01 with the crosscuts. Do you recommend for a long bit set, mesh round? I guess that's how you say it. And I'm horrible with names, so I'll probably butcher a lot of your names. Long bit set, I don't really have any. I've got, those longer flexible bits that I use that are, I guess Klein is the ones that I have over there. They might be Greenlee, I can't remember. But I don't really use a lot of long bits other than like SDS bits going through a foundation wall or something like that. But maybe somebody in here can help comment with that. Russ Albright, must be cooler out there where you live. You don't look like you're sweating profusely. It is 88 degrees where I'm sitting right now. So it is still kind of hot, but it has actually cooled off. It's gotten like in the 60s and 70s at night. It's supposed to cool off this week, which I'm supposed to get rain all this week too. But it has been crazy hot here, like in the last little bit, and then we're not even really hitting the whole summer heat quite yet. Let's see, Railer is a cheap starter set. Yeah, they make good. I've used their bits some. I don't use them a lot because I just basically bought them for the bit rails, but they're not bad bits. They aren't bad bits at all. And maybe you meant long bits. Maybe that's what you meant was like driver bits. I was in my brain, for some reason, I thought long drill bits. So long driver bits, yeah, I don't know if there's a particular brand. I've got so many DeWalt bits that me and 10 of you could have DeWalt bits for the rest of your life because I bought so many at Christmas time and Black Fridays just to get the cases. I probably got some in here. Let's see. Like these kind of cases, I've got enough of these where I bought bits for life to use those things. So I don't buy a lot of bits. I've got Milwaukee bits where I bought Milwaukee cases. I usually just buy my bits in cases, but I've got so many that even whenever I see them now, if it's a good deal, I don't even buy them that much anymore. I probably got moved out of the screen. Let me get it moved back over here. The good thing about this too is I can at least kind of see what it looks like on the TV screen. See, pencil eraser mod works well. That's right, Mac Dingo. That's what I ended up doing. Ted's saying he needs some marvels. Customer Relations Management, TPG. I thought that might be what I assumed it was customer and management. I was trying to figure out what the R might stand for. And again, I just basically use I talk to everybody. I call them. A few customers I have like texting, so we text as far as they'll just text me and send me pictures and say I've got this, just whenever you can come look at it, and I do that. But I don't use any kind of a software. I'm not. I'm just, again, just myself. I can see if you're a business and you've got, I mean, just hundreds and hundreds of customers, but most of my business is just repeat customers. So I've probably only got, you know, 40, 50 people that I actually do work for. And then other than that, my bigger jobs are just customers, and some of them are the same customers because they're investors and they're going and buying property. A lot of people in my area are buying property and making them Airbnbs, or it's just office spaces that are getting built out. Ted said that the Marvels are on Amazon, I think, and he's got but mine's always said, I've had them in my wish list. It always says they're unavailable. I haven't been able to buy them. Yellow handles, hard plastic. Let's see. Trying to get caught up. TPG says he does side jobs on weekends. My full-time job on the tax farm is software only. Let's see. Danny, thank you for the advice. You're welcome. Morgan's Maintenance 88, like having the AC on. Try South Florida this time of year. I can imagine. That's why I'm not complaining. I mean, it's warm in here, but it's only warm in here. Like everybody said, well, you should get you a mini split or whatever. Like if I'm out here working, I just open my doors and turn fans on, and I don't care if it's 80 degrees. I can work in that all day long. It doesn't bother me. I just can't run those fans and stuff while I'm shooting videos. Actually, I haven't even really tried it since I've been using a microphone. Back whenever I wasn't using a microphone, that's all you could hear, so I quit doing it. So I always turn them off. Matt says, don't go to that level. I don't want ads. I don't even... I get offers all the time from... I haven't really got any of those kind of offers, like sponsorships, like put a commercial in your video type thing. But it amazes me, some of the stuff. I mean, I bet I get 15 emails a day from companies on Amazon or Temu or whatever it is. And they always are like, oh, we just watch your videos. We absolutely love them. We'd love it if you would show our product. We'll send it to you for free if you'll make a video and this and that. And it's something like, what's the craziest thing I've ever got? I don't even know. But like a yoga mat or... just crazy stuff. Like there's no way you watch my channel at all if you thought that something. So basically, it's just a mass email. And what I think happens is there's a few of the companies like, and again, I'm just saying these names. I'm not saying they're the ones that did it, but like CC or something like that. And then you tell them, okay, I'll try this out. Well, then they get your information, and I think they start telling other people in their little circle that, hey, this guy, if you'll send him emails, he might try your product. I think you get on some kind of list. So I get a lot of just crazy stuff asking me. So Dan, begin, what I like most about your watch me work videos is how efficient you are with tasks, not much wasted motion. And I know I even slow those down. Like that's half the speed of how I normally work whenever you're watching those. So most people have been thinking I speed them up. I actually slow those down so that you guys can get a good look at that. That's a joke, by the way. Good idea with this kind of Q&A. Sound and picture are good. I'm actually surprised because I didn't think the internet would be that great out here. I had an extra mesh box. I thought I'm going to stick it out here, and the Wi-Fi works fine as far as on my computers or on my phone while I'm out here just using it as a normal person, like searching stuff or whatever it might be. But I didn't know how much like the live stream actually like eats up and how much it needs. So that's good to know. Appreciate that, Stefan. Stefan, integrity is your strong side. Yeah, I try not to. I turn down way more. Like there's some products, like for instance, this Milesea. I'm going to put this video out probably this week, this thermal imaging camera. I've already tried a couple other ones, and if this one wasn't drastically different, you know, I've turned down like 15 other thermal imaging cameras. But this one's a little bit different than some of the other ones I saw, and I thought it was a good option for probably some people. So that's sometimes you might see me do a review where I get a product from somebody, and I'm willing to get it and spend the time to make a video and all those things if I think it would be beneficial for several people out there. But I don't. If it's just something that I would probably never use, and I don't think very many other people would probably use, I'm not going to waste the time to even make a video for it because it takes a lot of time to edit it and to film it and all those kinds of things. But there's going to be some products where it even might not be something I would use, but I know enough about it and I know enough people that would use it. Sometimes I'll make a video for things like that. Klein has 6-inch made in the USA bits as well. So that's some long bits. I'm curious to know, who was it that asked that earlier? It was, let's see, where'd he go? Who asked the long bit question? Yeah, it was Mesh Round. Did you mean long driver bits or did you mean long drill bits? I kind of, in my brain, just saw drill bits. Michael Taylor, we need a how-to video on fixing sticky pliers. Recommendation that was given to me, I haven't tried it yet, but somebody, which actually I've got a couple recommendations, and one of them makes a lot of sense. It's using Permatex, some kind of a valve grinding compound. I haven't bought it yet, but somebody else was basically just saying, shoot oil on it, put a zip tie around the handle with the Sawzall, and just sit there. Basically, it's the same as you breaking it in, but really fast. I haven't tried that yet, so that's a couple things that we could try. Yeah, I think Matt HMM just said lapping compound, something similar to that. And Michael Taylor, you might have been one of the ones that sent me an email. I'm not sure. Somebody sent me a couple different emails on ways that they would do it, because I had a video where I was talking about something that had some pair of pliers that was kind of sticky, and I don't remember which ones they were. I can't. That's one thing is sometimes I'm getting a lot of older comments on older videos, and I'm like, I don't even remember what I said, at the time. Certain things, if it's something specific like that I might have said in the video, not something about the tool, I could be able to answer that just because I still use the tool. But sometimes things come up about old videos, and I have to go back and watch the video just to see what they were talking about. Let's see. Timo bots, LOL. Yeah, I used to get weird sponsorships on Instagram. Yeah, I think that they're all tied together too. Like I said, once I started getting a few things, now I get stuff like crazy. Nathaniel Clark, how much time or hours per week do you dedicate to YouTube? I've been trying to, and it just works. It's been working out that way. It's like, it seems like every time, once a video's like 2 days old, I've already either bought another tool or I've thought of something, or of course we've been doing the guess the trades. That one actually takes me more time to do that guess the trade than it does probably some of the other videos, just because the editing takes a little bit longer. Again, I'm not good at editing. The very first video that I've ever edited in my entire life was for this channel right here, and especially filming and stuff like that. So again, I still know nothing about it, so that's why the quality is probably not the same as some of those bigger YouTubers, because I film it all myself, I edit it myself, I do all those things, and I knew zero about it before I started this channel. But I'd say I probably spend, if I did, like, say it's 3 videos a week, I'd say every video at least takes me a couple hours at the most. Like I said, for what you make on them at this stage in my YouTube journey, which isn't why I'm doing it, but I could definitely just go out and do work for the same amount of hours and I would make way more money. But I enjoy doing this, is the only reason why I'm still doing it. And then I like talking back and forth with you guys and just talking about tools with people in the comment section, because I work with one other guy quite often. He's his own business, I'm my own business, and we go in together and do bigger jobs together. So I'm working with him several times a week. And then also, other than that, I work by myself. So I'm in my truck by myself all day long, and then I'm in somebody's house half the time they're not there, and of course they don't want to talk about tools. So I really enjoy talking about tools with you guys. That's the big thing. What kind of cell phone holder do you use in your truck? Actually, I don't use anything other than I do have where you've seen me film videos of me driving, and what that actually is a clamp that came with a Bosch laser that I had, so you could clamp it onto like a shelf or something like that, and then I put a phone adapter on that. But I don't use one for like to hold my phone in the truck. My stereo does the hands-free stuff, so I just leave my phone laying there and I talk through the stereo. Let's see. What's the next Milwaukee purchase on the horizon? I'm not sure on the dates on the pipeline stuff, when it's coming out. Matt just sent me a picture where he got that little foldable light, the real small one. I think Tool Review Zone just had a video for it the other day too. I'm interested in it. I haven't 100% decided if I'm going to buy that or not. I know I'm probably going to buy the new rear handle saw. If it's crazy lighter, I want to feel that in my hand though, because I'm not going to spend the money on it if it's not just crazy lighter. I would like to have that. The M12 SDS rotary hammer, whenever it comes out, I've got the fuel version, but that one's going to have, I think it's a 5/8, but it's also got the chipping mode on it. And that would be useful because right now, if I'm going to do chipping mode, I've got to take I don't have an M18 one. I've got a Bosch 18 volt steel, and I put a battery adapter on it and use that with that. So I'm interested in that one. I'm trying to think of what all else there was on the pipeline that's 100% that I want to get. I'm still surprised they haven't came out with a new surge yet. It's like I said, maybe they can't do much difference in the power and those kinds of things. But maybe they could at least put some different lighting, like 3 lights on the front of it, do something different. I don't know. I'd like to see that. Let's see. Any new tools or gadgets, Dan Begin, that you excited for and haven't got your hands on yet? I get my hands on everything pretty much as soon as I see them. Sadly enough, I'm trying to think of, again, other than the pipeline stuff, there's not been a lot of new tools. It doesn't seem like, I mean, Klein was hammering it hard, like from the end of last year till here recently, and then they've kind of slowed down some too. And of course, Knipex has those new handles, the new comfort grip ones that come out. I don't. They'd be interested to see, and mainly just for those color things. But it's not something I'm just dying for. But I wouldn't mind seeing a pair of them. I don't know when they're going to hit the U.S. market. And then other than that, again, it's mostly just Milwaukee stuff in that pipeline. I haven't seen anything else new, and I can't off the top of my head think about any other ones that I thought were for sure I'm going to buy these things. Tool Review Zone Clint, yeah, he's the one who had that light. I do like Tool Review Zone. Of course, him and VCG Construction are always at it, but I don't think VCG Construction, or at least maybe it's because I don't turn on notifications for a lot of people. I'm subscribed to a lot of people just because I don't want my phone going crazy all the time. But I just don't see very much VCG Construction stuff on my feed anymore. So I don't know if they don't post as much, or maybe I just missed it. I don't know. The Milwaukee light looks sick. I have the older model and love it, clipped to my vest. I don't use a headlamp anymore because of weight. I quit using headlamps too, pretty much since I started getting these Olight lights. Of course, I wear a hat all the time, so I just very rarely get a headlamp out. The only time I wear a headlamp is whenever I'm sanding drywall. I will put one on just because I don't wear my hat because I don't want drywall dust all over my hat, so I just wear my headlamp for that. New Milwaukee sanders, yeah, I'm interested in the... Somebody was commenting the other day about on the detail sander video that I had that it would have been nice. Of course, Milwaukee's coming out with an M12 3-inch sander also, and it would have been nice if they would have made it to where you could change the heads out on, just to have one sander as far as the body, and then maybe you could change out that triangular head to also the circular head. That would have been nice. Love the channel, Morgan. No OPEC, no problem. Keep up the videos. Tool Talks Therapeutic, so appreciate that. Nathaniel Clark, they have a 3/8 impact wrench that's supposed to be absolutely nuts with specs. Yeah, they're coming out with all new M12 stubbies. I don't use mine that much. I use it to take my tires on and off. I use it to change my lawnmower blades. Again, I'm not much of a mechanic. I work on my own stuff, and that's it. Like, other people ask me all the time if I'll fix this on their car or whatever, and I just tell them I don't work on other people's cars. It's not something I like to do. It's not been something that I really enjoy that much. Again, I do it for my own self, mostly just because I don't want to have to drop off my vehicle somewhere and mess with all that stuff. Let's see. Love those two. Nathaniel, I think Big Construction is a sellout. See many videos. Oh, VCG Construction, I think, is probably that say what's popular or likely what he gets paid to say. Yeah, and again, I try not to be. I'm always going to be honest, but I'm probably also a person who, whenever I'm looking at a tool, I try to be. I'm not a person who likes to be hateful towards things just in general. So it's hard for me to like really just diss a tool. So if you see that I say something bad about something, it's got to be pretty bad. But I also realize that, you know, that would be me just in general. So I try not to do that as much on this channel. If I see something that I don't like, but I've normally, if you see me doing a review of a tool, I've pretty much researched it pretty good. Because again, I'm not in the position, Even though I buy a lot of tools, I'm not in the position where I'm just making tons of money on YouTube, where I just go buy random tools that I'm not going to use just to make a video for them. So typically a tool that you see me have on my channel at this moment is something that I'm using in my business, or I'm going to use, or I think I can use. So I've typically already researched it at least a little bit. So that's probably why there's not that many tools that I've reviewed on my channel that are like, oh, these just stink, because I wouldn't have bought them had I known that they were going to stink ahead of time. So I try to do that. Let's see. Every year I hope there was the year for the surge. I agree with that, Mike. I've been wanting a new surge for a while, which again, there's nothing wrong with the one I have. I would like to have better lights on it. Let's see. Ted says, me and Tour Review Zone best on YouTube right now. Appreciate that. It's a tool of a tool, basically. Owen. Research every purchase too. Yeah, Mike. Again, I agree with that. Like I said, I don't just buy random stuff and make videos. That's not what I'm doing by far. So if you see a tool that I'm reviewing, unless somebody has sent it to me, I pretty much have researched it and decided that's something I want to try out. And again, sometimes I'll have a miss, and it's not necessarily, again, that tool's bad. So you might not still see me say something bad about it, because again, most tools are pretty good, but one of them might be better than the other. So then I still use maybe the one I had, or I replace one that I had with that one. And it's still not to say that other tool is bad, but it's just not as user friendly to me, because maybe I like the handle better on one or something like that. Do you recommend the M12 circular saw or the M18 6.5 or 7 3/4? Why at the Pilot? It depends on what you're doing. I use my M12 circular saw more than I use my rear handle, but it just depends on what you're doing. If you're only doing 2x4 framing, that M12 circular saw, in my opinion, just does it all day long. I have no problem with it. And again, even you can go up to even bigger 2x stuff. It's going to run your battery down because that cuts longer. So they've got their thing based on cuts on 2x4s. But if you're doing like rip cuts of two by lumber, it still works fine on plywood and stuff like that. That kind of bogs it down quite a bit. And again, the 7 3/4, I don't have the 6.5 or 7 3/4, so I don't know. I pretty much have the M12, and then I've got the rear handle, and I use my M12 basically for most stuff. And then if it won't do it, I get out that rear handle, and it will do pretty much anything that I need it to do. So I would think that you probably need, if you buy the M12, it's not going to do everything unless you're a homeowner or something like that. Like if you do work in general, like as a business in construction, it's not going to do everything that you need it to do. But I mean, it does do a lot, and the things that it will do, it's worth having it, in my opinion. Anyways, but that's just my opinion on that. Let's see. Hey, PhD Eddie. What's up, Eddie? Y'all gonna have to yell at me here in a little bit. I gotta go inside for the premiere of the Guess the Trade. I'm not paying attention to the clock. Actually, I might even be past it. I don't know. Yeah, 8 minutes. So in 8 minutes, I'm gonna have to get off probably in about 3 or 4 minutes to go do the premiere for that Guess the Trade to get in that chat. Let's see. Top adjustable wrenches tops. Don't forget your premiere. That's what my wife just told me. Yeah, I just now remembered that. Just got a few minutes, so we'll stay in here for a few more minutes. And again, y'all can comment below this video if this is you like this kind of stuff. I like watching this kind of stuff. Again, I didn't want to do it in my house. I never wanted to do it in my house because it's just weird in my opinion. So I kept trying to get internet set up, at least out here. And I got it set up to where I could use the internet out here, but I didn't know how the live streams would work. And again, you can't practice these things. It's just weird. You got to get on here and look like a moron if it doesn't work out. So have a great day, Ted. Appreciate that, Mac. Let's see. Are you going to get the new Gen 2 stubby Milwaukee's releasing? Probably not, Wyatt, because I don't use those that often. It's not worth, the one I've got does everything that I need to do. Now, that's not to say if I find some crazy deal on it and I can hack it or something like that, I might upgrade and then sell mine, but it's not a tool that I'm going to go out and buy it the day that it comes out. But like if I was an auto mechanic or, something like that, probably absolutely, because I think the lighting's better on those. Also, it's got, I think, more torque as well. And then it's just, newer tool and all those things that go along with that. Let's see. What's up, Wacky Wayland? Let's see. Yeah, and like I said, I'm gonna work on trying to, now that I know this works, I'm gonna work on trying, maybe I can even get something for my iPad where I can stick it out here and be able to read comments and not, have you just staring at the top of my head all day. This is more of a trial and error for me today. I'm just wanting to see how it works. So, but I think we're going to go ahead. I'm going to get inside so I can get set up for that premiere of Guess the Trade. So if you watch that, we're about to go in there and be in the chat on that as well. That's always a good time. So appreciate everybody tuning in. And again, M Dunbar 04, you are the winner of the Arkfeld. So make sure you email me, and again, I'll comment and send you my email address as well. So we'll try to do some more giveaways in the future. Like I said, most companies, whenever they offer to send me something, I always give them that offer to send me two, and I'll do a giveaway, even though I got to pay for shipping to ship something to somebody. That's not that big a deal. I really appreciate everybody that always comments and chimes in and watches the videos and all that. That's the least I could do, is every now and then throw y'all something free that I get as well. And we're getting close to 20,000 subscribers. I may end up doing something on that, because I've got a lot of tools kind of kicking around where I try stuff, and used to I'd give them away locally, or give them off to coworkers, or even sometimes sell them on Facebook or something like that. And I may end up doing a giveaway at the 20,000 subscriber mark of some kind as well, but we'll just have to see how that works out. And if y'all get to 20,000 pretty fast, I might have to hold off and wait till we get to 100,000 or something like that. So, but again, appreciate it. I'm going to go inside so I don't end up being late to that premiere. You guys have a blessed day, and I'll see you on the next one.